I think there's a time and place. I think there's some moments, like you're saying, in a smaller group where I'm often going to correct the word choice at times. And at times people just kind of go with it and say, okay, whatever. And other times they stop and say, well, why do you mean that? And I use it as an educating opportunity. There are other times where I realize that I want to keep moving forward in this discussion, whatever the discussion is, to get to a solution. And I guess there are different levels I will tolerate at different times and from different people, and seeing where it comes from, such as someone's background and history. I mean, I had a 80-plus-year-old grandmother who was from the South, grandmother-in-law who was from the South. There's a little bit different tolerance that I'm going to give her versus a stranger, because she is someone that I have some trust with, back to that, and some knowledge about. But being a woman, being half African American, being a Christian, there's a lot of reasons people always want to pin something on me because of who I am. And I really want to always focus on the topic at hand and what we're trying to achieve. So if I can keep people back and focused on that and not focus on the demographics, it's helpful.
It's no secret I speak my mind, and I'm the type of person that when I speak my mind, if you oppose me, I can go have a beer with you afterwards, and I don't carry it past anything if that happens. There are some people that don't feel that way, and if they oppose you, you're the source of fodder on their internet websites for months and months and every week, and that's just not me. So I sort of just let it roll off of me. They don't like my high heels. I don't know what it is about my high heels, but they don't like my high heels. It's a little bit of a dichotomy, but it's not that often, and it's a small group of people, and I don't think it's because I'm a woman. I think it's because they disagree politically probably with me more than anything else, and you have to let it roll off of you. You can't take it home with you. Where it hurts me is when it happens to my children, and we've had instances. I've had both of my twins just turned 18 this week and graduated from high school last week. So they were in two different high schools, and thank you, I survived. We had an incident at one of the high schools, and the teacher said, "Your mom is a bitch," said that to my daughter. And I said, okay, this is the deal. You want me to go in and talk to the teacher? Because I will, but it's going to make it worse for you if I do that. So probably not a good idea if I do that. I'll be glad to address it after the school year's over. And my daughter cried.
I'm probably less nice than Lynn about this stuff because it still makes me mad. And I haven't had anything nearly that bad. But the one thing that Christine was talking about was an incident where someone did come to a council meeting and used an expletive that's used to describe women. I don't even think he was really trying to say anything derogatory toward myself, but I felt, and I ran this by a lot of people because I was torn. You kind of just want to let things go, but I felt like if we're going to change the dialogue, if we're going to change, come and call me some other slur. Just call me an idiot. Like, why is what I am a slur? You know, that's not right to use words like that. And when I'm kind of teetering on firing back or saying something back, I always say, well, what if it was not myself, but my daughter sitting here? I'd be in the back of the room going after that person. So why wouldn't I advocate for myself?
I shared this at the League of Women Voters a couple of weeks ago, that in the 2014 election, somebody had written a letter to the editor, and it was saying that, you know, Atascadero needed a change, and it was geared towards both the former mayor and myself. So the former mayor was male, and whatever his comments were just about his policies or whatever. But when it came to me, rather than addressing policies or my viewpoints, it was Councilmember Moreno looks nice in her high heels and cute clothes. Also didn't like my heels, apparently, but we need a change. Well, if that's the worst thing you could find to say about me, but I really thought, if anything that's going to get me more votes from women and even men. I like what the League of Women Voters has done in terms of the civil discourse, and that's something that all the mayors last year signed on to and have kind of signed an agreement. And we at our council, actually in Atascadero, I think we're one of the first to do that, to promote that amongst ourselves and at our meetings, because I think we just need to lead by example. And when it's online, I think, like Supervisor Compton said, if it's from a small group, I think you can often just ignore it. If it starts to become pervasive, whether it's slurs about being women or anything else, then it needs to be addressed. But if it's a small minority, my tendency is just rise above it and to not. But I don't have girls that I need to worry about either, so I can appreciate that aspect.